PathMonk is the intelligent tool for website lead generation. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in their buying journey separates you from the competition online. PathMonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experience, like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50%. Add PathMonk to your website in seconds. Let the AI do all the work. You can get access to 50% more qualified leads while we keep doing marketing and sales as usual. Check us on pathmonk.com. Welcome to today's episode. Let's talk about today's guest. We have Carson Jones visiting us from Brado. How you doing today, Carson?
I'm doing awesome today. How about you, Ernesto?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being on. Love the sunny weather, right? You being there where you're at. I'm over here in a beach town, so awesome to see that, Carson.
Yeah, it's from sunny weather to sunny weather here over in Phoenix, Arizona, if you can't tell.
Great. Hey, well, Carson, let's kick it off then, right? I'm sure listeners tuned in wondering what Brado is all about. So in your own words, tell us a little bit more.
So Brado is been around for a couple decades. It started out as an insights, research, insights, that type of thing into healthcare marketing. We're now an insight to activation agency. We focus on insights into the customer journey and then activating on media that will help push people in the right direction on that journey. So I'm not sure the exact number of employees, somewhere around 150. We have 20 in the media department, give or take a couple, and then everyone else is working on the insights, or they're working on platform. We have a generative AI platform, and the client services types of things. So, yeah.
Okay, great for sharing that with us here. And so that way our listeners can get a good understanding of Brado. Carson, what would you say is the key problem that you guys like to solve for clients?
So the key problem, it's very similar to what everyone is looking for, is to map out the customer journey and then finding the moments that matter and making sure that the right messaging is in place and for that person in that particular point of time, whether it be a consumer on dealing with some sort of medical issue or something like that, or whether it's a healthcare provider when we're looking at the health space, also financial and high education, and then e-commerce, again, we work in. But it's really the most important thing across all clients, whatever the vertical might be, is just finding those moments that matter and making sure that we're there with the right messaging in the right time.
Definitely important. All right, great to hear that. So then, is there a vertical segment? Is there an ideal ICP for that you guys like to go for?
It's large direct to consumer healthcare, either healthcare providers or other healthcare industry, like distribution and things like that. So whether it be hospital systems or suppliers, that type of thing, pharmaceutical, that's where we focus our biggest efforts and where we are definitely experts in.
Definitely. All right. Well, say I was in the pharmaceutical segment. How would I usually find out about Brado? Is there a top client acquisition channel for you guys?
It's funny that you say that because we are marketers, but this is often the case. Our biggest place where we find people's word of mouth. That's tends to be the biggest thing. We're known in the industry, and there's different events that the executives hold, for, like, whether it be I believe they have like a golf tournament and things like that they do, but essentially it boils down to word of mouth for the most part.
Okay, perfect, awesome. So that's always, I think, one of the best ones, right? Because they already did the job for you. It's just kind of like, well, let's go ahead and iron out the details. Um, so then, I mean, so that way our listeners who are tuned in can go ahead and visit you. They could always check you out at brado.net. What role does a website then play for client acquisition, Carson?
So, it's interesting. I think it plays a huge role in a number of ways. So the website, it not only is it a place where people are going to, they maybe find you through search or through like being linked, with word of mouth, but it's an important thing that happens during the vetting process when people are looking at your agency or your company, is to make sure that your website is properly showing, who you are and what you do as a agency. And that's something that, we admittedly, our website could have used some work up until recently. We've done a bit of a relaunch, and we could still do some more on there, but incredibly important. Not just from, like I said, not just from an acquisition, like someone new seeing it, but when someone's vetting your company, your website needs to be giving them the information that helps them make the decision in the proper way.
Really important. I'm great to hear that from you, Carson. And well, let's switch gears a little bit and let's talk about you as a leader. You being the director of paid media there, what what are some key tasks you like to focus on your day-to-day work?
So, there's a few things. Number one is being a good leader to the team, and doing as much as I can to facilitate their growth, as their own careers. I mean, something I really do believe is most important things when I'm looking at my job are, first, doing good work for the clients, making sure that we are providing them as good a service as possible. And then second is, for me personally, is making sure that my team is as supported as possible and is getting the experience, the on-the-job education, and everything that they need to get to where they want to be in their career. And even if that's not at Brado, but I just want to be supportive of them, because that's what I want myself. And I know that when I get that, I do better work. And then the third thing would be, my wife just came home, so there's there might be some barking in the background. The third thing is profitability for Brado. I think that if I said this to one of my executives, they probably would want me to put that one first and the others below, but that's just how I see things.
All right. So, and I mean, you being, the director there at paid media, definitely got to stay up into all the trends, strategies, in the marketing role. Is there a preferred channel that you like to go with?
So, our top channel that we've traditionally worked in is search. That's the been really kind of the bread and butter of everything for a long time. But that's really, more going to be your lower funnel tactics. We've programmatic display is incredibly important, especially when you're looking in those prospecting, awareness, and consideration phases, getting those messages to people at the right time and getting them actually into the funnel to start considering you as a solution. And then, of course, social media is important as well. At being with paid media, where we end up spending the most time and money, it's going to be, first is going to be search, and then programmatic, and then social.
All right, for some great channels there for our listeners. And we'll just jump into our next section then here, Carson, which is our rapid fire question rounds. Are you ready for them?
I hope so.
All right, perfect. Then first up is, if there would be no boundaries in technology, what would be that one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a marketer today?
Attribution. I think that, it's something we all struggle with. There's lots of different solutions for it. None of them are perfect, but man, how great it would be if you could just know exactly where everyone saw every single ad and every single thing throughout their journey. That would be awesome.
Definitely would agree with that. Next up then is, if there's one repetitive task that you could automate, what would that be?
A task that I could automate. I think that I'll probably accounting. It's like we work with, we have accounting team, but just like the invoicing, actualization, all that kind of stuff. I it's important, but I don't love doing it.
Definitely, I think a lot of people out there feel the same way. And well, lastly, Carson, I mean, you have a lot of experience, but what is that one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you were to restart your journey as a marketer today?
I were to restart my journey as a marketer, I would say, and I think this is important for anyone, is can you hear the dog barking in the background? I'm sorry about that if you can't. Okay, good. The noise canceling on these Macs is fantastic. The thing I would tell myself is don't look for the role. Don't look for the job you want. Look for how don't try to get a specific role. Don't try to get a specific promotion. Try to get all of the knowledge you need to do that role. Try to get all of the capabilities, all of the thinking that you need to fulfill it, so that when it comes time and there's an opportunity, you're not fighting for it and then ending up like having to struggle to do that role. You're a shoo-in for the role, and everyone's going to be saying, hey, Ernesto, you need to be the planner here, or you need to be the director here, because you've got the knowledge and you've built up this skill set that makes you essential. So yeah, focusing on what you can do to build yourself up and not chasing after paychecks or chasing after titles.
Definitely. Okay, perfect. Some great advice there for not just yourself, but for all our listeners. And well, Carson, we are coming to the end of the show here, but before we do end, I do want to give you the last word. Say someone forgets everything about the interview today. What is that one thing they should remember about Brado?
If you're in healthcare, or if you're in any industry, the most important thing is being empathetic towards the people that you are trying to persuade, making sure that, you're being sensitive to what they're experiencing, and that you're there for them in the moments to matter, to support them and to help them find answers for whatever their issues may be. Whether you're looking at of course that's mostly focused on direct consumer when I say that, but it's the same thing for B2B. We do a lot of B2B, and you don't need to just be there for those customers who are like individuals. Your B2B people need that empathy and need to understand, you need to understand their moments that matter for them as well.
Definitely would agree with you, right? I mean, they're at Brado, you believe it, insight and empathetic connection can not only change a brand, but it can change the world. So awesome to hear that from you, Carson. And we'll do want to thank you for being on. I also want to thank our listeners for tuning in today, and I'm looking forward to our next episode at Pathmonth Presents. Thanks a lot, Carson.
Thank you. Appreciate it.